Doctor, you were telling us about the brain? Yes, the major part of the central nervous system. And is it divided into different parts? Yes. What are those parts? The parts are the forebrain or prosencephalon, midbrain or mesencephalon, and hindbrain or rhomboencephalon. Doctor, what is the cerebellum? That is the second largest part of the brain, which serves as a reflex center for the coordination of muscular movements. It is divisible into two hemispheres and a median portion, the vermis. Doctor, the cerebrum is different? The largest part of the brain, which is divided into two hemispheres by a deep groove, is the longitudinal fissure. And the cerebral cortex is what? The cerebral cortex is the surface of the cerebrum, composed of gray matter and arranged in folds known as convolutions or gyri. Doctor, what is the cerebral localization? That is the definite region of the cerebral cortex performing special functions. And are those special functions two in nature? Yes, they are twofold. The motor areas and the sensory areas, which is the corpus callosum, a bridge-like structure of white fibers which joins the two hemispheres. And hemispherically speaking, doctor, there is the brainstem. Yes, the brainstem is the upward continuation of the cervical cord, which consists of numerous bundles of nerve fibers and nuclei. And what about the structural components? Well, those include the following: the epithalamus, the hypothalamus, the metathalamus, and the subthalamus. Doctor, is there also the medulla oblongata? Yes, the medulla oblongata is the marrow brain. It extends from the upper cervical cord to the pons. It contains vital centers regulating heart action, vasomotor activity, respiration, deglutition, and vomiting. Doctor, what is the mesencephalon? That is the midbrain. It extends from the pons below to the forebrain above and is composed of nuclei and bundles of fibers. And what is the pons, doctor? The pons is the part of the mesencephalon or afterbrain, which is composed of bundles of fibers and nuclei which are located between the medulla and midbrain. And the meninges, doctor, the meninges covering membranes of the brain and the spinal cord are the dura mater, the arachnoid, and the pia mater. Doctor, a group of nerve cells within the central nervous system are what? Well, we call those nuclei. They are essentially basal ganglia, or masses of nerve cells deeply embedded in the white matter of the forebrain, for example, the lentiform nucleus. Doctor, the ventricles and aqueduct are lateral, are they? Yes, they are lateral ventricles, which are fluid-filled spaces, one in each cerebral hemisphere. And the third ventricle is a fluid-filled space beneath the corpus callosum. What is the fourth ventricle, doctor? The fourth ventricle is an expansion of the central canal of the medulla oblongata. The ventricles contain cerebrospinal fluid, which is formed by the capillaries of the choroid plexuses. The fluid seeps from the third ventricle into the cerebral aqueduct and fourth ventricle, and from there into the central canal. It reaches the subarachnoid space through openings in the roof of the fourth ventricle and circulates around the cord and brain in this space, thus providing a water cushion and shock absorber for the delicate nerve tissue.
That wasn't bad.
I have no idea what he was talking about, but, okay. Give you the privilege of reading it. Anyway, Fisher.
First stroke FIS, next stroke long UR. Doctor, you were telling us about the brain. Answer, yes, the main part of the central nervous system.
I have major.
Major part.
Oh, major. Oh, right, I'm sorry, major. Is it divided into
It
different
is.
parts? Oh,
No, I have is it.
No, is it?
Is it question?
divided, yeah, question, is it divided into different parts? Answer, yes. Question, what are those parts? Answer, the parts are the forebrain or prosencephalon? Prosencephalon? What is
That's what I have.
pro? How do you spell that?
Prosencephalon.
Prosencephalon, midbrain or mesencephalon?
I have
Oh,
mes.
Mesencephalon, okay. And hindbrain or rhomboencephalon?
Rumbo. RHOMBO.
Question, doctor, what is the
Rumboencephalon.
rhomboencephalon? Yeah. Question, doctor, what is the cerebellum? Answer, that is the second largest part of the brain, which serves as a reflex center for the coordination of muscular movements. It is divisible into two hemispheres and a median portion, the vermis. Question, doctor, the cerebrum is different. Answer, the largest part of the brain, which is divided into two hemispheres by a deep groove, is the longitudinal fissure. Question, the cerebral cortex is what? Answer, the cerebral cortex is the surface of the cerebrum,
Cerebrum.
composed of gray matter and arranged in folds known as convolutions or gyra?
Gyri.
Gyri.
It's the plural of gyrus. GYRUS.
Question, doctor, what is the cerebral localization? Answer, that is the deaf region of the
Definite. Very definite.
I used to write it DEAF, but I changed it, and I just forgot this one time on the fly.
So how do you write it?
Now I write it two strokes.
Two
definite.
strokes. Definitely is one stroke, but definite is two strokes. There's probably a way of getting around it, but I never figured it out.
I do definite DAF, DAF.
DAF?
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
You got used to writing two strokes. Good DAF, that's good. How does that relate to definite though? There's no way indefinite.
Well,